In this video, I'll be going over a brief history of Karma, as well as reviewing the Hasbro figure released based on this character. If you're only interested in the character bio or action figure review, then feel free to check the time markers below, but I do hope that you'll watch until the end. In this video, I may use terminology that may be unfamiliar to newcomers, but I'll do my best to list them in the description. However, please feel free to comment on anything that I missed or anything that's unclear. In September 1980, Marvel would introduce its second character of Vietnamese descent that would go on to become a recurring hero amongst its publications. Xi'an Manh would be introduced in Marvel Team-Up number 100 by Chris Claremont and Frank Miller. Claremont also has created the New Mutants and both Psylocke and Jubilee from the X-Men. Miller is famous for his work on The Dark Knight, Sin City 300, and more. Xi'an is introduced as a mutant with the ability to possess people and control them. She possesses Spider-Man in order to save her younger brother and sister from her uncle and twin brother, who also has the same abilities. With the help of Spider-Man and the Fantastic Four, they would stop her twin brother. Xi'an would do this by absorbing his soul. The comic describes her brother as dark and herself as light, and that he has now paid for the crimes committed. It's at this point that Xi'an refers to herself as Karma. Karma would return as one of the original members of the New Mutants. The New Mutants were a team similar to the X-Men, but consisted of younger characters still in training. Karma would go on to lead the team off and on through the comic's initial run. Besides being part of the New Mutants, Karma is officially also a member of the X-Men. While Karma's powers originally were possession, they would continue to grow to include limited telepathy and mind control. Karma has not had her own solo comic book series, but still maintains a presence within the current X-Men comic book. On August 28th, 2020, a movie based on the New Mutants was released. The movie would have 4 of the original members, with Magic replacing Karma. A sequel was planned, but nothing has moved forward since the acquisition of Fox Studios by Disney. One of the concepts of the planned sequels included introducing Karma as a villain, but joining the others by the end of the film. Here we have Hasbro's Marvel Legends Karma. This figure is actually released as a sort of 3-pack. It comes with a single body, but with multiple different heads and hands that belong to different characters. We have head and hands for Wolfsbane. And then we have head, bow and arrow, and appropriate gripping hands for Danny Moonstar. This is done by Hasbro as a way to release multiple characters while at the same time not releasing multiple characters, since these characters are part of the same team. They are the New Mutants. This means that they don't have to create all new molds for these characters. So there's an upside and a downside to this. The the upside is that you get the characters that you're wanting to get. The downside is that some things aren't as accurate as you might like them to be. As an example, with this character, Karma, as of right now, the current version of this character actually should have a prosthetic leg, specifically a like a robotic looking kind of leg. This character is missing that. Technically, this version of the character in this costume does exist in this form. In this run of the comic book, The New Mutants, she did have this costume for the first 12 issues before her leg was injured and got replaced with the robotic version. But that comic did go on for another, I think, 40 issues or so. And even right now, she continues to have a bionic leg. So for her to not have that here is tough, especially because that comic came out in 2010. I think one of the other main issues of having multiple characters as one character in terms of the release from Hasbro, with the multiple different heads and hands and everything, is that it reduces the number of accessories. This character only gets the one pair of hands. You can technically, I guess, use the other yellow hands, but these are really meant for the other character to hold the bow and arrow, because I don't know what this character would be holding otherwise. Everything else is pretty standard in terms of articulation for a female figure. This one appears to be a teenage sized figure as well. But as you can see, no bicep swivel, single jointed elbow. So the characters can only go that far up at a 90-degree angle. No ab crunch. I don't believe there are any female characters released by Hasbro in the Marvel Legends line that has an ab crunch. That's about as much movement we get. The head itself is also not even a unique head sculpt. This head is actually just a repaint of another figure. I believe it's the Stepford Cuckoos, and it looks just like that, but different colors. This one also has a peg hole right in the back, so you could have some additional. If you had a stand and you peg it right into the back, then you can, pose it more. Unfortunately, the character doesn't really have any powers that would make sense for her. She can't fly or levitate or anything like that. All of her powers are based on her mind. As far as the paint goes, the quality control on this particular one wasn't so great. You can see how it's kind of faded here in some way. That's true on both arms. It's not a very sharp, nice, clean paint like we see here and right here. And it seems to follow right here. Even this right here isn't totally perfectly sharp. Overall, I guess technically, because this character does wear this costume for a brief period of time, that technically counts. But I think the lack of having the leg that is accurate to the character, not there, I think that kind of brings down the accuracy of how this looks to what we see in the pages. Thanks so much for watching. If you have any comments, then please feel free to comment below. I'm open to suggestions on these videos, or if you'd like to see anything more specifically about the figures or what you'd like to see in the next video, then I'd love to hear it.